Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I am back with my week ahead spread. And I just gotta say, I am loving this deck. It's deep, it's insightful, it's gorgeous to look at. I have been rotating my decks every week, but I can't put it down. I can't seem to put it down, and I keep taking pictures of it and doing spreads with it, which I never usually do. It's fantastic. But that is the deck we will be using today, is the Journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot. And if you're just tuning into my channel, I usually do a week ahead spread for myself. I'm not comfortable yet, quite comfortable yet, doing a random spread for the world yet. So I do them just to get comfortable. And if you guys resonate with anything I say, then that's great as well. But usually I do the energy obstacle and advice, a 3-card spread for the week. And I pull ahead of time to kind of intuitively go over it and look at it and see what it's telling me. And then when I come on and do the video, I tell my intuitive interpretation, and then I read the little excerpt in the book. See how close I am, if there's anything different in there that I need to know, anything like that. So yeah, let's get started. So these are the backs. This deck is gorgeous, and there's the teal gilding. It's fantastic. I had my reservations about this deck. And it's probably the first and only deck I've ever had that I bought because I was a fear of missing out. I didn't know it was a Kickstarter. When I started seeing it, it was still available. And as a matter of fact, I think it's still available right now on, and I don't even know who did this, on the site. You can just Google Journey of, where can I buy Journey of the Sacred Bee, and it'll pop up. Let me see if it's in the book. I forgot their name. About the author. There's nothing in here about the author. But anyway, it's a fantastic book. Not going to go into too many more details on it. Yeah, that's the gilding in it. It's great. So I pull energy, obstacle, and advice for the week. And my TV's trying to come on now and be weird. Weird. My TV pops on all the time by itself, y'all. So that's a little weird. One time it was playing music for my husband. I think it was playing Let's Get It On at like 4:30 in the morning. My TV just came on and started playing that. So yeah, it was serenading my husband. But so if you're just tuning in, I do read the pull the cards ahead of time. I do the energy, obstacle, and advice. And then when I come on, I do my intuitive interpretation, and then I read from the book what it says. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm always anxious to show these off because these cards are just beautiful. And like I said, I had my reservations about buying this deck, and I'm like, I'm going to buy it anyway because for some reason, something kept coming back to me to buy it. I have not regretted it. It is gorgeous. It reads so deeply, and I love it. And the images are just beautiful. So for the energy of the week, I pulled the backs again, the 10 of Swords. And I've talked about the 10 of Swords a few times. When I first started reading tarot, shortly after I started learning tarot, there was, I had a falling out with my best friend of 15 years. We haven't spoken since. That was almost 3 years ago. And I was heartbroken. I was shattered because this was a friendship I thought was going to last forever. And I felt betrayed by it. And so I stopped reading tarot for a while because I just started. And then this happened, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing this. And I would still pull a card of the day for myself in the morning. And every single morning for weeks, I pulled this card. Because there was a point in my life where I wasn't dealing with anything. I had just shut everything down, and I wasn't dealing with it. And I had felt betrayed and hurt. And it was literally like we had gotten divorced because we were so immersed in each other's lives for so many things. Our kids were growing up together. And so I always look at this card as, um, especially for the week ahead, it's not, to me, always about the 10 swords in the back. It's about something having to end, something ending, in order for you to grow. And I'm one of those people that I will never leave. I will never, even no matter how bad it gets, I'm always going to be like, um, we can fix this. We can work it out if we just have a conversation and talk about it. Even though it's something that I know is broken and can't be fixed, I'm still the one always trying. I will never be the one to leave. So, um, the situation that went down, it had to go down that way in order for me to grow from it, and to move on, and to further what I needed to do on the path I needed to be on. So I find that very odd that after all this time, this is the first time I pulled this card. Um, and I love like I said, I don't always see the Ten of Swords as the 10 swords in the back. I see it as almost like the way I see the Death card, like something has to end for a new day to begin. And you can see the sun coming up here. Got a little mouth of the sun there. And what I find is odd is the key word here is ruin. And I can see where they're going with that in this card, but at the same time, to me, it's not about ruin. It's about, like I said, the ending of something. Something has to end. And for something else to take over, to start anew, to forge down a path that you're supposed to be on. Something has to give. Something has to go away for those roadblocks to move and you be able to move forward on the path you're on. And it just slipped my mind. So I don't see it as ruin so much as something needing to be moved. And the fact that the swords is tied to the element of air, it's tied to your mind. A lot of these blocks, and I know exactly where this card is coming from when I say this, a lot of the blocks that we have, that we see, are in our head. They're in our mind. We make a mountain out of a molehill. And I'm one of those people. Right now I'm having trouble with an assignment I have for school. I haven't written anything on it in weeks because I'm so up in my head about it. And I really just need to get it on paper and deal with it before I can move on. And I find that very fitting for this week, as the energy of the week is there are blocks, most of them mental. Most of them the cobwebs need to be cleared out of your mind to be able to move forward. And I love that. So I know that was really long. For the obstacle, I pulled the root of the powers of earth, or the ace, can't read that, of pentacles. And first of all, I want to say this card is beautiful. I love the colors. I love the little translucent wings on the bee. And for this to be in a negative, the aces are always to me about beginnings. And of course, with this ending having to happen, there's going to be a beginning. Maybe a shift in perception, a change in your mind, even maybe financial change may be coming. Hopefully for the better, because I'm already broke. So, but for it to be in a negative aspect of it, I see it as, with aces, it's all about grounding. I don't ever see the pentacles as Very rarely do I see the pentacles as monetary gain or loss. I see it as very earthy, very spiritual, very grounding. And with it being an ace and being the beginning of starting something grounding, something new, maybe my spiritual journey will start to progress. But as seeing this in an obstacle is like, yeah, that makes sense, because if I'm still stuck in this stage, I'm never going to get to this stage. If I continue to let my mind cloud what's really happening, and if I need to, preventing me from moving forward, I can't move forward. I can't be grounded. I can't continue on with any sort of new footing, new founding, new beginning if I'm still stuck in my mind. And so I think those two go very well together, and that makes total sense to me. And then we have, for the advice for the week, I have the Seven of Cups. And I love that the keyword at the bottom is seduction. Because while, yes, you may be able to move forward from the Ten of Swords, you may be able to get out of your head long enough to move forward and continue on, and start this new beginning that you need to start. But it's also letting me know, to me, it's beware of those choices. Some of these choices may be very seductive to you. They may be very tempting, very luscious. But just be aware that not all these choices are the right choice. And I feel very strongly about that. As soon as I pulled that this morning, I'm like, I had like shivers that, yes, we may get all these choices laid out in front of us, and they may look very attractive, seductive even, but they're not all going to be the right choice. So I find it odd that of all the times I've seen the Seven of Cups with all the different choices in the cups, that train of thought has never entered my mind until this morning when I pulled this card. It was like, every time I've ever pulled this card, it's always been just, oh, you have so many choices. You have this choice. You have this choice. And it's never entered my mind that maybe not all of those choices are for you. Maybe not all of them are the way to go. And so I felt very, like I said, very strongly about that this morning. And that's why I'm loving this deck. It's giving me just enough of a different perspective on things to be like, oh, I didn't see that before. So yeah, I love that. And I think those cards go, of course, hand in hand together today. And look at the coloring in them. They're just gorgeous. Gorgeous cards. So let's get to the book, because I've rambled on. This is probably my longest week ahead spread ever. So we have the Ten of Swords here. And with the swords, with the minors, it just gives you a little bitty tiny description here. But with the Ten of Swords, it's ruin, Sun and Gemini, the ending of a situation, releasing for a fresh start, feeling pinned down, but with hope of a new dawn, finality and closure. And closure was a big one for me when I first started pulling this card, because I hadn't had any. And yeah, so that hit that on the head, I feel like. So then we have the Ace of Pentacles. Got so many, and it's a disc in this deck. And the aces all say at the bottom, root of the powers of, and then whatever element it is. So this is Earth. And I'm totally on the wrong page. Ace of Disc, root of the powers of Earth. A new acquisition, potential for wealth and comforts. Materialization, potential to be grounded and secure. Gaining the resources for an opportunity. That's what I was saying. It's the beginning of something happening. And I find it odd that I find it ironic that it brought up manifestation because um, I've talked about this in my video when I got the Grimalkin Tarot. I did a video at 31 Days of Tarot on the 8th and the 9th. Somehow that deck came into my possession. And I'm like, and the 8th was the tarot decks that are on my wish list. And that was number 1. And same thing happened the year before, where as soon as I did my 31 Day of Tarot video, where I was voicing what I wanted, it came to me. And I was like, this is crazy. Literally the next day of a deck that's been sold out for weeks, and I have been looking for weeks and weeks and weeks, was nowhere to be found. Suddenly there was one left available at an obscure site, the second printing of it. And I'm like, that just kind of gives me a little goosebumps, because it may be something as simple as that, but you can manifest so many things. And that also speaks to the negative aspects of this. Be careful what you wish for, because you can also manifest negative things. So just be aware of what you're trying to manifest, because it may not always be what you're wanting. And then we have the Seven of Cups here. I think this card is so pretty. It's got the purples, pinks, greens, teals, all my favorite colors. Seven of Cups, seduction. Venus and Scorpio. Indulgence, fantasy, and pleasure, creating dependence or giving into vices. Remember what I said, that not all choices are good for you. Illusionary success. Wow. Overwhelmed by too many options. And I get that a lot. And I've seen a lot of people talk about that card where you're like, oh, there's so many options. I don't know which one to choose. In your gut, in your heart of hearts, you know the right choice. You know. It's just listening to that small, still voice inside of you. But I love this new perspective I'm seeing where it's like, yeah, you have all these choices, but are they the right ones? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Are they the right choices for me? So yeah, I love that. I love this spread this week. And this is why I can't put this deck down. It's awesome. So yeah, that was my week ahead spread. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, want to add to what I said, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a great night. Bye.